There's something about the intro to Along the Watchtower that confuses a lot of musicians, and that is where the one is, where the downbeat is. It really comes in, the way it's supposed to be played is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 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 and 3, and a 4, and 1. But many people hear it as 1, 2, 3, making that first C sharp minor chord on the downbeat. 4 and 1 and 2, but that's wrong. And part of the reason it sounds like it's flipped around has to do with the drums and the cymbal crashes. But so you have to train yourself to hear it correctly. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and 1 and 2. And one of the ways to make sure you do that correctly, if you have your down-up strumming solid for where the beats are, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So that first strike on the B chord is going to be an upstroke. And 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So the first accent on the chords each time you go to a new pair of chords, either from B to C sharp or B to A, it's going to start with an upstroke. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 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 and 4, and 1. So the three chords are B, C sharp minor, back to B, and then to A, fifth position. And then after that initial 4-bar pickup, in bar 4, the strumming gets a little more animated and includes 16th notes. And now here, through the next 4 bars of the intro, you've got so you can hear there are some dead string hits in there. And that's sort of the kickoff to the chord change, and it also facilitates changing to the next chord. You can hit a dead string hit as you move your hand. So in bar 4 of that intro, that's where Jimmy comes in. 1, 2, 3. So you're sliding up the 13th fret of the G string, and then index finger 12th fret of the B. The song's in C sharp, so there's your C sharp, 14th fret of the B, but we're bending it up a whole step to D sharp. And after the third time it's struck and bent, you add a vibrato. So you can see I have all 3 fingers lined up behind each other, so I have strength in the bend, and that helps me to put a vibrato on it too. And it's that second bend is really the downbeat of 1. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. So coming down. So you have that note bent and you're vibratoing it. And then you're going to keep it bent and pick it and release. So 14th fret bent a whole step up with the ring finger, release, index finger, 12th fret of the B, 13th of the G, 11th of the G. Then put a vibrato on that note. Here we're going to slide up to the 11th fret of the D, that's a C sharp note, the key we're in. With the ring finger, index 9th fret of the G, 11 fret of the G, bend up a whole step, release the bend and bend it again. And it sounds good to make those pre-bends. And then at the end of that bar, you're going to come down. 11, bend, unbend, 9, and then. So that's a quick hammer pull. 9, 11, 9 on the B string. So I bar my index finger across the G and B string at the 9th fret. And then bend the vibrato 12th fret of the B. And then at the end there, it's bent up and you slide down. All right, for this section of the tune, Dave Mason switches to lower chord forms. We got C sharp minor here, 4th position, B, and then instead of a straight A chord, he plays A with a C sharp bass. So that's 4th fret of the A string with the ring finger, and then 2, 2, 2, D, G, and B string with the index. And you want to strum through every chord very clearly and get them to ring as much as possible. And that's one reason I like to use the pinky on the B chord. It helps with the transitions. Another cool thing is when you're coming up from the A with the C sharp bass, you could play B like this and get the top 2 open strings in there, which is like a B sus4 chord. And it's also another nice way to change, and also the sound opens up. There's also some expressive dead string hits, some strums that drive the rhythm along. One of them occurs here in bar 6 where you go. And then here in bar 8, there's a little riff. You play 1, 2. So I have 4th fret on the G, 5th fret on the B. And while I'm holding that, my index finger is actually barred across to the D string. And I'm going to hammer 4, 6 on the D string. Right back into C sharp minor. And then at the end, with the drum fill in the last bar of the section, you're coming down from C sharp minor, and on this A with the C sharp bass, it's very animated strumming. And to make that sound right, you should alternate between the bass note of the chord and the higher part of the chord, like. It doesn't have to be that precise, but that's the idea. All right, for the lead guitar part, Jimmy's just playing these little fills, and they come off of each chord. So if you were to think of the chords as thumbed six-string root chords, as Jimmy often plays, you would have C sharp minor here, B major here, and A major here. But he never plays full chords, so it starts coming in on B2 of the first bar, 1. So that was a pull off 11-9 on the G, 2. The barring across the 5th and 4th strings, 9th fret, 7th fret. So 1. So this is in bar 2. He plays. So we got 1, 2, like that. So 1, that's barring across 7th fret of the A and the D, and then a quick hammer, 7-9 on the low E, and then you're going to slide up 9-11 on the A, and then a quick hammer pull on the D string, and then you're going to come back down. Instead of just going onto the A string, we're going to go and get both these strings like that. So you've got, now in bar 3, you got the thumb. One more time, just playing a B, referencing the B chord like that, and the A chord like that, 9th fret, 7th fret. So here now in bar 4, we're on A. That's 7-9-7 on the D, slide up to the 11th fret. So the big thing is the changing of the positions between your riffs on C sharp minor and then the riffs on A. But usually, when he plays a riff after the A chord, if he does, it's either going to be referenced back to the C sharp minor, meaning it would be like, so he's just thinking about fills being based on C sharp minor. In this particular case, here in bar 4, he does a little quick hammer pull 7-9-7, which sounds like it's over the A chord. 9-11-9-11, bar 5. And then here in bar 6, we're on A. Little riff there around the B before you go back to C sharp minor. Then that thumb again for C sharp minor. And then here for A, you could play the 7-7-6-5, sounds nice and full. And that E to F sharp to E as a slide jumps out nicely. So you start by that 9-11 slide on the A string. Now bar 9 into bar 10. Bar 10. So instead of just sliding on the G string, we're going to slide on the G and the D string, barring across 9 to 11 to 9. Then bar 11, that's kind of cool. So after you hammer 9 to 11, a quick hammer pull off on the D while you're barring across to the 9th fret of the G string also. Like that. So what's neat is he's always coming up with some little different wrinkle. All these little variances, they're so slight, that have to do with hammers and pulls and slides. And that's the style. That's that R&B style of rhythm guitar that Jimmy was so great at. And then in these last 4 bars, he's going to go down to 4th position. And that's kind of nice on the A, C sharp chord. 2-5-2 on the B string. So these are the same voicings as the 12 string. And then he jumps back up to 9th position for the beginning of the first solo. That's 12th fret of the B string, bent up a whole step, and released, and that's the beginning of the first solo.